So I'm Liaan van Vuuren. I work for Viking as a technical advisor. I've been in the agricultural industry for the past 10 years, working in different sectors, ranging from farming myself to working in nutrition. And we at Viking focus on mostly, or my focus is mostly at Viking on table grapes, on certain key clients, and then also on some of the other deciduous fruit cultivars and citrus, of course. And recently we started doing a bit more work on the rooibos tea front as well. And Viking as a company started off as a small company and grew into a very large company, contributing on farms where we see ourselves as partners in enhancing the value of the investments that the farmers do make every day. So over the years, the value, as I see it, has been added by being on the farms, by getting your footprints in the orchards, in the vines, etc. And over the years, this footprint has grown to using more than just your bare feet or just your feet. And we are in the orchards every day. We can see the problems and we can advise on these problems. But that's the problem sometimes, is you're too close to the problem. So we also need a bird's eye view, a higher view of what's happening. And that's where the satellite technology, the drone technology comes in, is to use those images, accurate images, to get a more bird's eye view of where the problems might be more, or to in a certain way try and see the problem before it's actually a big problem. And that's where we started using especially products like satellite and drone imagery, and that's why I started working with Aerobotics, to see what Aerobotics can bring to the table in terms of the satellites and the drone imagery. So we've had various scouting missions done, and we've got drone flights that went and out, and what we actually saw on two cases was, one, we saw a block of table grapes that had certain patterns, and we could do certain scouts and narrow it down to irrigation. We rectified the problem and we could see how it's getting better now. On the other hand, we had a farm where we saw certain specific citrus trees showing problems, showing stress, and made a scouting mission out to it, and we saw that we couldn't see anything visible on the trees, so we went beneath the soil, did nematode analysis, and we saw there was actually a high infestation of nematodes. Treated the nematodes, and we can now see on the images from both the drones and the satellites that the trees are starting to recover. So definitely a positive point to use that, and that's exactly, it's narrowing down on your, zooming into your problems more and quicker. I think farming has been evolving over the years. I mean, we started out with knapsack sprayers, and now we're using tractors, and now we're starting in different parts of the world. They're starting to use not even man-driven machines to apply chemicals and apply nutrition to trees and to crops. So yes, it's evolving, and yes, we are already at the point where if you're not gonna be on the cutting edge in regards to technology, you're going to start falling behind. And you should ask yourself, do you want to be in the front running in your business, or do you want to be just follow and go along with the stream? And yes, it's new. Yes, it's difficult for everyone to understand. Yes, it's a new learning curve, but it's definitely the way forward. I can't see in 10 years time from now that or even 5 years time from now, that we won't be able. Agri-technology will be a part of farming like a Massey Ferguson is part of farming now. And although the relationships, although the time spent in orchards, although the one-to-one talks to farmers and the one-to-one advice and adding of value, that'll never go anywhere. Technology will add on to that, and technology will become a new tool that you use to add more value to your farms. You can have as much data as you want. You need the right system to put it into knowledge. So the more data I can get, the better understanding I have of a certain block or a certain farm. And although we do have a good idea of what's going on the farm, if we start using per vine or per tree data, we can narrow down to structure our advice and structure our aim of what we want to do to that tree or vine. and once again making your time spent on a farm, your value added, more efficient, and getting your return of investment is higher in using more data. I think it's a mindset. So either you apply your mind to the change of technology, or you don't. Change is a part of our business and a part of agriculture, and it will always be a part of agriculture. Technology in this case is a new change or a new kid on the block, and either you're open for it and you learn how to use it, or you just, like I said earlier, or you're just not open to it and then you start falling behind. I think it's a mindset, it's a decision you make. It's a conscious decision to pick up your phone, to go sit in front of your computer, draw in your farm, and just start using it. And once you start using it, you'll start using it more, and you'll start benefiting from it, and then it becomes a second nature, and then you get to the point where you can't really not use it. And I think that's the change that needs to happen, and that's the change that's happening. I think over time, the more and more people will get on board, and the people that's not on board will either stay off board, or they will just fall behind.